Well, hello and welcome to Hello Chaos, the unfiltered podcast for founders in the messy middle. There's no fairy tales here, just the real the real grind, the grits and chaos of what it takes to build a business. Today on the show, we have Haylee Jordan. She's co-founder of Fabric, which is she's a crafter of non-alcoholic and THC infused beverages calling out of Colorado. Haylee, welcome to the show. Welcome to our
Hi.
chaos.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to step out of my own chaos and come into yours for a
That's
second.
right. It is. It is. We're always in the chaos, I tell you. So start us out. Just, you co-founded Fabric. Was this your first business that you have founded?
No, I've founded a million little things before.
All
So
right. Well, how about
here I
like,
am.
let's back up. Tell us,
Sure.
how you got into the world of entrepreneurship, and then lead us into what inspired Fabric.
Yeah, of course. So I graduated college and got a real job right out of college. Had it for 4 years, around 4 years, and then was like, I can't. I have to work for myself. So I think it was about 2017, I jumped ship and I've worked for myself ever since. So starting with a brand studio, I've developed a few brand studios.
Okay.
This first one was called Bad Bitch Branding. Yes, you heard me right. That is what it was called. You might have to bleep that out if there's no
No,
cussing on the podcast.
we've got an E rating. We're good. When
All
your
right.
tagline is where aha meets oh shit,
Yeah.
and it gives actually a good platform for founders to let their hair down a little bit.
Great, great. I love that. So yeah, I've had brand studios. So Bad Bitch Branding. Down the line, I had a studio called Romeo, which was for restaurant specific branding. I ended up throwing that away during the pandemic. It just didn't make sense. I had learned a lot about the industry, and then obviously
Yeah,
restaurants
the
were suffering.
category just suffered. Yeah.
Yep. And then most of my career, I've gone by Haylee Jordan for brand strategy identity design as a freelancer. And then my latest studio that I am still working with when I can is called Studio Supercult. And I have a co-founder in that. Her name's Joni. She does photography, and I was doing brand strategy identity for CPG brands.
All right.
So that's kind of led me into where I am today. So working with some non-alcoholic brands, doing their identity design, brand strategy, all of that good stuff kind of got me into the world of CPG and essentially just made me more visible. And I took the leap from full-time brand strategy identity design into the beverage world in January. So it's, just
So
this year
2025, you're in it.
I am in it.
So what do you because I've worked in both CPG, but also B2B and just like retail. What have you found entering into the world of CPG? Because it's different. It is very different. What were your biggest like aha moments of coming into the category?
For fabric specifically, or just working with CPG brands?
Working with CPG brands, and then we'll get
Mhm.
into fabric. Yeah.
Um, I think a lot of the better for you CPG brands just fit my overall outlook on life and my lifestyle. I also really, really loved the spirit of the CPG community, which is most of the time really fun. I mean, they're making snacks, right? Snacks, drinks, like all this
Right.
fun stuff. And then really telling stories behind those brands and making them interesting and sellable and marketable. So I loved going into that. And then for fabric, I think what I love so much about what we're building is it's more than a beverage brand to us. So it's kind of my transition into the mission driven space, which I've always been passionate about.
Yeah. So what made you migrate over? How did Fabric become founded? You said you have
Yes.
two co-founders. I mean, how did you guys come together to go, let's make our own? Like we see
Hmm.
what's happening in the space. What
Yes.
was that desire to leap in and produce something yourselves?
Yes, absolutely. Our CEO is named Tom Edelston, sorry. And then I have my other co-founder, Anthony Bradley. He's a creative as well. And then we have our brewer in Australia, Nick Galton Fenzi. He is a biochemist and brewer. So the way that it started was Tom and Nick in Australia started working on some formulation and kind of brainstorming what this brand could be. Anthony got looped in because he had known Tom. And then I was looped in basically from just being present on LinkedIn. I was doing a lot of LinkedIn content talking about brand. And I kind of got wrapped up into this project. And down the line, months in, before it even really started, they had asked me if I'd be interested in coming along as a founder. So that's kind of the basic origin story. Since January, we've pretty much done everything. So finalized formulation, naming, brand strategy, identity, storytelling,
Like all
photography.
the foundation stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but Tom had dreamt it up and kind of brought his team together, and I'm one of the founding
One of
members
the
now.
so what is like why fabric? I want to know the origin story of the name,
Sure.
especially given the category you're in, and then that it's non-alcoholic and a THC. I call it the sober curious.
Yes, we love that. So I don't know who here listening has named a beverage brand before and gotten it trademarked. The second part's important, the
Yeah.
trademarking. It's really
Yeah.
difficult. It's hard to name. And we knew we wanted something that kind of spoke to our positioning as a brand. So we do a lot of great things. We're a public benefit corporation, which means we take into account social causes and not just shareholders' pockets. We're legally required to do that. We also give 2% of our revenue to mental health initiatives. And we're doing
Okay.
some cool campaigns with some other organizations. So thinking about all of that and how we're positioned and then finding a creative name, fabric came together because we're helping mend the social fabric.
Okay.
Yeah. So whether
Nice.
that to you means you have something you can socialize, you're not left out at the bar, or the social fabric of our push to help with mental health initiatives. It's really where it came from. And just starting to think outside of the box. We didn't want anything too on the nose. I started thinking a lot about clothing choices and fashion and how like workwear or certain types of fashion show your political stance, basically, like how you
Right.
dress, maybe the tattoos you have, the colors you wear, the way that you roll up your sleeves says something about who you are, what you believe. I'm just learning about these things myself. I'm not in fashion, but I'm very intrigued by it. So thinking about like, how do we start to get creative with a name, right? That makes sense, ties into the positioning, and really important is easy to say and understand.
Yeah.
We see a
Yeah.
lot of brand names that we can't pronounce, and that doesn't do very good.
So what was the biggest, I guess, your biggest oh shit moment of coming into this space and, new to the journey, seeing how Tom and your fellow co-founders, what have been like the biggest barriers, your walls?
Yes, so we are a THC infused hopped fizz. So we are hemp derived. So we are allowed to be on shelves in liquor stores, on premise, and restaurants. It's federally legal when derived from hemp. So all is good, right? Federally legal, but we face a lot of regulations at the state level, and every state's different. So any package
Yeah.
design we make needs to be designed for that state.
Oh,
So there's so many oh shits. It's always changing too. So tomorrow it could be different than it is today. And
yeah.
CPG, I always said like I would never start a CPG brand. That's insane. The capital that it
Yeah.
takes, it's insane. And
Yeah.
now I've started a CPG brand on crack. So hemp derived CPG brands, even crazier. So I'm
Right.
just in it.
So how are you guys I mean, are you guys working with through a wholesaler, distributor that's helping you, feed you with the state or do you have to go, or somebody else has to go and look at every single one of the states?
Yeah, we have a great law firm that helps us with some of that, but we've shifted our strategy. We are not trying to be everywhere all at once. We are really staking our flag in Colorado. So right now we're mostly worried about Colorado regulations. We want to
Yeah.
be everywhere and anywhere in our home state. And we believe that going deep rather than wide will serve us long term and we'll get more people to get excited about our stories. So yeah, we're able to kind of work around that, but if we were to go to other states, we would definitely need to seek legal counsel and make sure that we are
Yeah.
doing it the right way.
I think that's a good insight and a lesson learned of, as your go to market strategy of, we always say like buy the reach you can afford and don't
Mm,
sacrifice on like frequency and impact. So the fact that you're going, okay, how do we segment and how do we then fully target so that we create the impact that we need before we dilute and spread ourselves too thin?
mhm.
What was, because you had said, you guys are being brought in by, you had, Tom, the CEO, and then you have other kind of founding members of how are you guys mapping out your team dynamic, the roles? Is that something that you guys are still kind of feeling your way through, or was it predefined of you, we need you here,
hmm Yeah, so in startup world, it's chaos, as
right?
you know. So we're all doing a lot of different things. There's three of us on the ground every day working for Fabric. That's not enough. We need like, I don't know, 25 people.
Right.
So we're each doing different jobs, and sometimes they do overlap. But as time has gone on, it's been almost a year since we've had conversations and started this. We are able to kind of map out our expertise, what we're the best at, and kind
Yeah.
of go our own way. We're constantly in communication though, all day long. I feel like I have a toddler because, I don't have kids, but I know how it is to have a
It's
toddler and you're watching them
it is.
all the
It's
time.
birthing a baby. That's what
Yeah,
watching it
that's
grow.
right. Yeah.
So, what's been the most surprising thing for you? I mean,
Mm,
you've built other companies and built other brands. What was the most surprising thing in your fabric journey,
mm.
and how are you dealing with it? Like, yeah,
Yeah. I think the most surprising thing at all, coming from saying I would never do that, I would never start a
right,
CPG brand, and now I'm in a hemp derived CPG brand, which is even
right,
crazier. That's the surprise is like, oh wow, did not see this for my future. I was doing I had a brand studio and that was my job for the
yeah,
foreseeable future. And then all of a sudden I, came into a company as a founder and it's my full-time job now.
yeah,
Constant. So that's the biggest thing is that it came along at all, but I'm very excited and lucky to be a part of it. So
yeah.
it's a great surprise.
What's been the most rewarding?
The most rewarding is to see how quickly we've built this thing. Like the fact that we had the idea in January and it's on the shelf now
Yeah,
in the fall of 2025 is we think it's crazy. We think that's
that
extremely
is,
fast.
yeah, and just to show that it is possible when you get the right people aligned with the focus and strategy.
Yeah.
You
We're
can move
also
you can move quick.
yeah,
Right.
and it was a hustle for sure, and we're still in that hustle, but another massive piece of what makes it so satisfying for me is we do amazing things for mental health. So we give back 2% of all revenue to mental health initiatives and being able to have conversations around mental health and cutting back alcohol.
Yeah,
Nothing's worse for your mental health than a hangover for
right.
me. Like that is not, it doesn't fly. So being able to have conversations about things that really matter. It's not just the liquid, although it's very good. There's more to the story and there's more conversations that need to be had on mental health and alcohol consumption, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's also we've been watching the emergence of the category of sober care. I think, it started really, we started seeing it coming along last year, and but it feels like every quarter of this year, it's just been, like, elevated, and you see more and
mhm.
more in the stores. Before it was, like, impossible to find, and now not only are, bars and restaurants have a selection, but you're seeing it on, like, mainstream store and grocery stores
Yes.
shelves. So, yeah, it's happened fast, like, it's been in I think way quicker in a category than most, um,
Yes.
other categories. Yeah.
It's booming and alcohol consumption's like at an all-time low right now. So people
Right,
are really hungry for alternatives. And the great thing about Fabric is you can still get a little buzz. Most brands are just non-alc, but
right,
with a little tiny bit, like we have a 1.5 milligram of THC. It's called Rhythm. It's our lower dose, but that's a perfectly great little buzz like a beer. So you're not missing out on that feeling, but you're also not getting that alcohol.
right, right. So what was the biggest, I guess, myth or misperception that you had, even like thinking back, pre-fabric, when you left your job and then you were like, I'm doing this, gonna build this company, gonna do this on my own. What was like a big myth or another like aha of like, this is not what I thought it was gonna be? Did you have any of those moments?
I worked with startups a lot, so I knew that they were always in chaos mode. I knew it was going to be difficult and take a lot of attention. So I almost don't feel sidetracked by that because I'd seen so many startups go through that.
Right.
One aha moment is that I would be very annoyed with some of my clients that were in startup mode. And I'm like, you guys are not organized. Like we need to get organized. And now being in a startup with three people that are working full time, it's almost you can't wear every hat every
Right.
day when there's
Right.
25 hats, three people. So the ball gets dropped, not in important ways, hopefully, but that's natural to a startup. It's you're going to, not be perfect at responding all the time to every email, or you're going to
Right.
forget something because there are so many moving parts. So I have a lot more grace on my past clients that were in startup mode, understanding that it wasn't a character flaw. They weren't just unorganized because they were lazy. They were just doing so much.
Right. 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 So now you're like, ooh, now
Like, I get it.
I get it now. I get it.
Hmm.
So how are you handling those stress moments, or how do you guys work as a founding team to discipline yourselves, give yourself grace, all of those things? Have you guys adopted any kind of tools or techniques that you can share of how do you
Yeah.
keep the spirits alive and the machine kind of moving forward while not killing each other?
I know. Yeah, we haven't killed each other yet. We're
Yeah.
a pretty good team. I think we lucked out, but I think it's just communication. And, last Monday I had worked all week and had events in the weekend. And it came to Monday and I was just like, I'm not working today. Like, I need to get into nature. And I just said it and did it. And it was, Monday's a big day. We have our kickoff call. There's a ton to do, but having a team that's like, okay, we understand that, like, when you
Right.
need to step away. And
Right.
so having a really understanding team's great. And then just personally practicing those self-care things, obviously not drinking too much alcohol, making sure you exercise, like, so your brain can even, meditation is something I've been
Right.
doing a lot of because there are so many things, so much chatter. So being able to step away and also help each other out. Like on Monday when I stepped away, Anthony was like, "Cool, I'll do social stuff today," because
Right.
I usually do social. So having a team that's understanding and can
Yeah.
step in.
It's teamwork. Teamwork. Is there well, in your world, in your life, who's your biggest cheerleader?
Oh my gosh, obviously my grandma. All grandmas are good cheerleaders, right? Like if I need
Absolutely.
a pep talk, I'll just call her. And
Yeah?
yep, she
She gives
answers
you
the
the words
phone.
of wisdom?
Yes. I just love being around older people that are so grounded because just being around her, it's like a more calm approach. Like nothing's the end of the world, right? She's seen way more than I have, and
Right.
being able to share like stressors with her. She also was a graphic designer and an artist. So it's cool just to be around people that are like, it's not that big of a deal. Like
Right,
none of
right,
this is
right.
that big of a deal.
Yeah. We always say that internally here. It's like, "My gosh, why are they like, we're not curing cancer here. We're just designing an ad. Like,
Yeah.
let's calm down."
Yeah. It's not good to waste your energy on silly things for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So in this process, in your journey, what have you learned most about yourself?
What have I learned about myself? I've learned that I guess startups like amplify any issue you have. So about myself, I've learned that I need to take mental health practice seriously. So like the meditation is something that I've learned. Like, oh, okay, I have to do that if I'm gonna be in a startup. I can't not. So just I think self care. I've also learned that I already knew this from launching businesses, but I'm extremely capable. There aren't any secrets. No one has the secrets to how to do things. They're all winging it. And I posted on LinkedIn, like, I don't feel like an imposter because I said, have you talked to other people? Like when
Right.
you really start to talk to them, which is what you do on the podcast, you learn like
Right.
there's all sorts of,
We're not
you know,
alone. We are
figuring
not
it out.
alone. Yeah,
Yeah. Just
that's
figuring
right.
out as you go. Yeah.
Yeah. We've all kind of um come at the journey and in different ways, but yeah, we all have similar themes of running in chaos,
Yeah.
learning new, like I think we learn something new every day.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. The imposter syndrome is real. I mean, people feel
Hmm.
it, uh, but helping to overcome that really is talking to other people, and then you start
Yes.
realizing, why was I
Yes.
so worried about?
Yeah. Yes. You learn people's journeys are all a little bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you like most about yourself that you
Ooh.
wish others recognized more about you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really a hard question. What do I like about myself that I wish others recognized more?
Mhm.
I like that I persevere. It's hard at the second part, like what I wish they would recognize more. I don't quite know, but I
Yeah.
like that, ever since I started working for myself, I've kept doing that and have been able to persevere through it and push through the hard times, ride the roller coaster,
Right.
and find it rewarding that I'm at the end of the day I'm my own boss, which I love so much.
Yeah. So the resilience
Yeah.
of that. Um, would you do anything different? Like if you look back, is there anything that you would do differently pre-fabric, or is there anything you would do differently knowing you're like a year into this journey? I know hindsight's always 2020, but
Mhm.
were there any insights that you're like, dang, I wish I knew this?
Yeah, maybe that I mean, I've learned now that there are no secrets.
Mm,
Like, everyone's winging it. I wish I
yeah,
knew that when I was younger starting out. Like,
yeah,
anyone can do anything, with obviously the right, learning and being
right.
open and chatting with other people. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say that, one of the best, I think, piece of advice that, I heard from another, founder is you're constantly in the learning and then unlearning and then
Mhm.
relearning and rinse and repeat. It's just like that constant, like you said, you get exposed to something and you're like, "Holy crap. I
Yeah,
wish I knew that 5 years ago. That would
I
have been
know.
helpful." Would have been
Yeah.
helpful.
Everything changes too so much. So, like, anything today, for example, social media, anything about how social media works,
Oh,
the algorithm, TikTok,
yeah, it'll
it
change
was
next week.
absolutely. So sometimes it's not even worth it. It's like, well, everything's changing all the time, especially with AI, like who
My
knows
goodness.
where we'll be. And
Yeah,
so even if I had all the wisdom, 5 years ago, would it matter? I don't know because
yeah.
it's all evolving so quickly.
That's right. What would you be doing if you had no fears?
Ooh, like as a career,
Yeah, or anything, yeah. It's like if
I
it
had
were
no
no fears
fears.
of like, "Hey, look, I don't have money," but if there was no fear of like money, if there was no fear of like, disappointing anybody or pissing, like, what would you be doing?
I feel like fabric is kind of one of those things because I talked to my grandma and I'm like, "Hey, are you so proud of me even though I'm a drug dealer?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I feel like fabric's one of those things where it's like I'm doing something, without the way people react to THC is still very interesting, although it's nothing like
Right.
alcohol, right? Alcohol is the worst drug ever. So that's really funny. But I think, I love writing some songs on the guitar, phenomenal at it, but I think I would embrace that more, do more of that,
Be a
do
rock
more
star on stage.
yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
maybe even just going to an open mic without being scared for weeks ahead of time would be fun to do. But I think that's probably a big one there. And yeah, I try to be true to myself, and I'm so lucky that my parents and people that have come before me have never put me into a box
Yeah,
or have been worried about my career. I know friends, their families are very, very worried about their career. Like, artists don't get paid anything. Like, don't be
yeah,
an artist, be a whatever, a business person or a doctor. I never had those stressors ever. My grandma was an artist. My grandpa built guitars and was in bands. Like, my whole family has kind of done what they want. And I realized from talking to others, that's not their origin story.
right.
There's a lot of struggle and a lot of parents trying to
I should
control.
be put in this box versus find your gifts,
Just,
uh,
I
and
mean, yeah,
yeah,
life
make
is
a craft
short.
out of it. That's right.
Yeah, just do something fun. Why not?
So I love asking this question of anybody that's in like packaged goods.
Mhm.
What was the feeling like when you held the product
Mm,
in your hand? Was it different because I mean, you built other brands before,
mhm.
but was this one different because you really kind of helped craft it and it's
Yes.
yours?
Yes, I was expecting it, holding it in my hands. Anthony and I tag teamed the design, but holding it in my hand, and it's a really nice print if you ever get a can, super well designed
Yeah,
and has like a really nice texture to the everything. So
nice.
just really, really proud. We're in like 60 plus liquor stores now and counting. So I think the most surreal thing is seeing it on the shelf. But it's also less surreal than you'd think. While you're building this, the early stages, you're thinking, I'm going to go crazy when I see this on the shelf for the first time. It's going to be so surreal. And then you see it and you're like, yep, there it is. We worked
Yes,
really
check.
hard
Now
day
we've
and
got
night,
like a
but
thousand things that we've got to do back at the
yep, it's
once
moving
we
on quickly.
yeah.
We really want to try to celebrate more as a team, though. And it's been hard to do that because we are moving so quickly and,
Yeah, but
and
don't yeah,
fundraising and all that.
I know. You gotta celebrate those wins.
Yes.
It's so important.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a miss that often founders kinda look back and go, "God, that was kinda significant. I didn't think it was
Hmm.
significant at the time, and
Yeah.
I probably should have recognized it more." So
Yes.
stop. You need to do
Yes.
your celebrate those wins.
Absolutely.
If you look ahead, well, if I gave you a magic wand
Mhm.
and you could change 2 things today about your business, what would you do?
Mm.
What would you change?
I would want more people, good people to wear the hats. What else would I change? I don't know. It's so hard. What else would I change? I think it's mostly the workload. Having someone to help with me with social would be amazing. Some
Yeah,
really great content creators. I would change the fact that every brand, it's not quite my business, but the fact that every brand has to be online 24/7 posting every single day. I really
yeah,
want that to change. I don't think it's
yeah.
going to.
Well, we always advise to go, you don't have to be everywhere.
Mhm.
Do wherever your time, money, and energy is best spent. Because you know
Mhm.
what? If you're not on that channel or that channel, but you're focused on this one,
Mhm.
I think the same applies to how you guys approached your distribution
Yeah,
of, you know, look, we're doubling down in Colorado
absolutely. Yeah.
and we're gonna see how it works. I think that same thinking can apply to even how you do social media.
Yes.
Because you're right. It's that I call it the chasing competitors
Mhm.
mindset, and we don't need to do that. Like,
No.
well, you have a story, it resonates, founder stories, you got a good brand, tell that story. It's going to connect with people and land people where you spend the time, money, and energy
Absolutely.
and prioritize. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Like it's insane of everyone feels like they have to chase that.
Right.
And it's hard to not be that way.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a huge champion for just
Don't
you'll
chase.
find go dark on those channels. You won't see a lick of difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did that with LinkedIn for myself personally, just really focusing on one platform because,
Yeah,
yeah, it did
because
help a lot.
it's too hard. It's too hard.
Mhm. Yeah.
If we looked a year from now, I came to Colorado with some champagne or bubbly juice. What what will we be celebrating? What win?
Oh, ah, well, I think, we're trying to raise $1 million starting now. So that would be a huge one next or in a year from now. Also, just expanding really deep into Colorado and then probably getting into another state and kind of anchoring our flag in that state
Yeah. Is
would
it
be a
easier
really big
to kind of
celebration.
expand near Colorado, or is it to go where THC or sober curious category is more accepted, like a California? Um, I'm just
Yeah, so
curious. Yeah.
likely it'll be a different state that's friendly to it and that's looking for we have a higher dose SKU as well. It's 10
Okay.
milligrams of THC. And they're finding in certain states, Georgia, for example, those are selling at convenience stores like crazy. We think 10 milligrams is quite a lot, but trying to hold, low dose and higher dose and figuring out the markets for those. So not necessarily close to Colorado, but the best chance for us and also just the type of people if they'll resonate with our story, I think is going to
Yeah.
be really important.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Well, we're going to
Yeah,
manifest
I know
the funding.
we're going to do it. Yeah. We already have some, so if anyone wants to throw us some money,
Throw
we're
some
here.
money. There you go. What has been, I guess, the biggest? I know you said you had a few like oh shit moments. What's been the biggest like shit, not just in fabric, just in your whole kind of career of being a founder that you've had to overcome?
I think just getting out of your own way, like the oh shit of like I'm the person in my way. No one else is in my way. Like I need to get out of the way so I
Yeah,
can do what I need to do. And just, I've said it before, but knowing that you're as capable as anyone else. So what's stopping you? It's you being in your own way. And
yeah,
that's not an easy thing to overcome.
right,
It's a mindset shift and it's a relentless mindset shift that you're working on for maybe many years. I've been doing it ever since the day I decided to be my own boss, you
right.
know? So it's like, oh
Yeah,
shit,
it
I'm
is.
in my own way. Gotta get
Yeah, what do
out.
they say? Either change if you're stuck or if you're unhappy, like you feel the tension and the friction. What is it? Simon Sinek always said, like, you've got two choices. You either change the situation or you change your mindset. And
Hmm.
and that's the only two ways out,
Absolutely.
is through.
Yes, and reframing is huge, right?
Yeah,
Especially in startup mode where I'm just like, I'm run down. I feel like I have a toddler that I don't actually have. I'm looking at my phone. I'm on my computer and like instead of saying like I'm working too hard or I this is making me feel bad or I hate the grind, instead shifting it as I'm so grateful for this opportunity because I am. And we are going
Yeah.
to help so many people with our mental health push and just making it more of a topic that's okay to talk about. And there are so
Yeah.
many good things. So as a founder, I think you need to put a spin on it.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Change that mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reframe it. Like, um, but a lot of it is like it's a mindset change, right?
Hmm.
Oh, that's fascinating. What's the best? I mean, I'm curious of grandma advice, but but you've been around other founders and startups and business leaders. What's the best piece of advice that you received that you really took to heart? It's now a part of your kind of leadership
Hmm.
mantra.
Mm. Interesting. It's so funny because I've spent most of my adult life working for myself. So it's probably been, a culmination of people online, past professors and that kind of thing. I had one professor say that like the first idea isn't the best idea, and I think that's really important. And I've heard other people say the first idea is the best idea usually. So it's whatever you think, but I think that's something that's always stuck with me is pushing past that, you have an initial idea of a business, a name, a product, whatever. How far can you push it? See what it can become and look back and see if that wasn't the best idea. So that's
Right.
one thing. And just, realizing someone once said to me, good design's good design. Like that's all it is. So that stuck with me too, because there's so much behind design that makes it
Yeah.
great. Like, sure, anyone can make a beautiful logo. They're everywhere, right? Go to Fiverr and you'll get one that looks pretty nice. But what pushes design further is the strategy behind it and the intention and the story and all of that. So those are two of the things that have definitely stuck with me.
I love it. I love it. So if you summed up your journey and you look back, what word describes that journey?
I think I used the word relentless earlier. I think that's probably
It's a good one.
the journey so far. Yeah,
And to
here I
continue.
am.
If you looked ahead to the next chapter in your journey, in
Hmm.
the fabric journey, what word do you want to just have that to describe that chapter?
I think mindful would probably be the best word. There have been many times that I've gotten swept up in the chaos and it's taken over my mind and kind of made me only focus on work as a part of my value too as a person, which
Yeah,
is hard for an entrepreneur to step aside from that. But I think mindful, if you can go into these types of situations, startup life, the next 5 years, like
right.
I want to be mindful about it.
Yeah. And like you said, it takes balance.
Mhm.
Need to give yourself grace and space
Yes.
because otherwise you'll burn out.
Mhm.
Yeah, it hits hard. It's tough. What do you do in your free time? When you do get the
Well,
moment, you're like, I know you said you need to go touch nature, but like
mhm.
what really like feeds your soul?
Yeah, I do like playing on the guitar. I love going to shows. My next show, I'm going on Saturday and I'm seeing S.G. Goodman. So just kind of getting into music. I love obviously going out to eat and just going to art shows. My partner is an artist, so supporting him and being a part of that community as much as I can. All of those great things. And then honestly, just going out to dinner sometimes. You're like, I just need to go somewhere else
That's right.
and
Get
not
out,
cook.
be seen,
Hmm.
be catered to, a little
Yes.
service. Well, okay, I'm going to ask you because you're in a younger generation than I am, and Chandler is our producer sitting here. I wonder if he knows where I'm going to go. So when I like to go out, I avoid um because I don't like it, even though I know they're very popular. But these more gathering spaces
Mm.
of the like restaurants that are, and then you go sit and it's open seating like a modern food court. Is that the what are they?
Okay.
I hate them like with
Ah.
a passion.
Uh-huh.
I loathe like so whenever anyway, Chopper, let's go, meet up there, and I'm like, ugh. They're like, why do you, it's this newest thing, or they have really, really good food. And I'm like, if I'm going to spend money,
Mhm.
I want somebody to come over and serve me and fill
Yes.
up my water.
Mhm. Yes.
So I'm just curious, like, I know that's probably a, whatever, weird
So
statement, but I'm curious of like
are you
what you like when you
yeah,
go out.
Well, are you talking about sort of the markets where you go and get your food from, like, one of the 5 vendors, and then you sit kind of in the bigger food court area?
Yes.
That's what you're
Yeah,
talking about? No, that's not my preference either. I wanna go to if I have extra cash, which you don't in startup
right,
worlds, I wanna go to a really nice spot, and I don't mind if they have community seating, like, there's a longer table and there's multiple people sitting
right.
down, that's
I'm
fine.
happy about that. I'm good with that
Mhm,
because it's the I wanna be served. Like, I even hate
mhm,
going into places unless it's fast food. I mean, that's a
mhm,
like, if I'm running in, I'm grabbing something and it's,
mhm.
grab and go, that's but to like, I don't get to go out that often
I know, yeah.
or if I'm gonna spend money,
Mhm,
um, because sometimes those things cost just as like,
mhm,
you're dropping $50 after your meal and a few drinks or whatever.
yeah.
I'd rather spend the exact same money.
Huh? Yes,
That includes
ambiance.
tip with an, but it's a now I don't have to worry about running around to go, where can I go fill up water? Or especially the morning, those it's like, I'd rather go sit in the diners that I can get the refills of coffee.
Mhm. Coffee delivered right to your table.
Yes.
Ambiance is so important to me. I think it's as important as the food to
Yeah.
me, for sure.
I'm with you
Yeah.
100%. I was just curious if, because I know that's a big trend within the younger, like, millennial
Mhm,
and then the upcoming Gen Z. Those things are popping up all over the country, in every community in every city. So now everyone's like, "Let's go to" and we're in the South, so they're
mhm,
converting, like, old mills,
mhm,
into these, like, more modern kinda food court spaces,
mhm.
with music, and it drives me insane because I
Yeah,
will immediately be one that's like, "Nah,
like, I don't wanna go.
I'm
I
not gonna
think
go.
they I
Can we
think
go
they,
to a
like
winery? Like, come
yeah.
on, I'd rather go."
I think they're great for certain things, right? Like, if you have a group of 15 people, it's like, "Oh gosh, we can't get
Yeah,
into a restaurant, like, let's just go hang out and drink a beer." So I do like those places, but when I'm going out, it's typically not with 15 people, it's, like, me and
right.
my partner going out, so I love, 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 love interior. Interior design in a restaurant is so important to
Yeah.
me. The vibe,
The
like,
vibe,
art,
the
all of that.
seats, yeah, the lighting.
Lighting, yes,
Chandler's
yes,
over here,
yes,
like, going, "Yes,
yes,
I'm agreeing with you."
yeah,
No, yeah, I went into a more of a bar. What's cool kinda hang, but the bench
mhm,
seats were killing my back, like, and they were cushioned, but that was just a weird I'm like, "I'm not coming back
yeah,
here. This is, I have I had to sit with better posture. I didn't like it."
no. If you can't slouch, it's not for you.
I know. I was like who knew? Who knew?
Mhm. That's so funny.
I will not come back there or not sit at that
Yeah,
bench wall. But,
they're trying
yeah.
to turn you over quick. You know how, like, restaurants design
Yes.
furniture and interiors and
Right.
stores to, like, push you through in certain ways and
And
get you to
move
save.
you out
Yep, yep, yep. Spend your 50 bucks and leave.
and leave.
That's what they
That's
want.
right. Oh, this was fun. Sorry. Had
No,
to go on a digress there.
I love it.
Um, okay, another weird tangent here. But,
Mhm.
as you kinda, developing more doubling down on, like, CPG, where are you going for resources? And you guys are looking for capital and investors. Where are you going in the ecosystem to network or learn more, pitching? What does that process look like?
Yeah, I am actually not fully responsible for any of the capital
You're like,
raise, which
"Thank
is great for
goodness."
me because I wouldn't be the best at it. Although I do wanna learn more. Tom, our CEO, has a background in finance, so
Okay.
he's really leading all the fundraising, and we're looking everywhere, including Colorado. So really looking at since we're launching here and our community's here, and we're kind of shaping the product around the Colorado lifestyle. So say you hike a 14-year and it could your summit beer, the beer you would have at the top, we're like, "Why don't you trade it for a fabric?" You
Right.
won't feel as
Yeah.
bloated on the way down. So kind of hitting on the culture here and then all of our contacts here as well as anyone he may know and any intros. Like we love any intros that
Yeah.
people want to give us. So we're really open. Anthony made an amazing pitch deck. We've heard from so many people that they see hundreds of pitch decks and ours is beautiful. So really just kind of making a team effort, filling in where we need to, but leaning on the finance expert to get us,
Yeah, to
where
tell
we need
that
to go.
story.
Yeah.
Have you been involved in any of those pitch meetings yet, or are you, like, just at arm's length of it?
Not
at this
so
point?
much. Yeah, I haven't. I know, we've applied to some cool pitches in the future
Yeah,
with other, like, startup organizations, so I think I'd probably be more involved with those, but a lot of it is, different than I thought. It's more of casual conversations over coffee, which I didn't realize as a brand designer coming into this world. It's less so like the Shark Tank, right? It's more of like,
right.
"Hey, I have this
Which
thing. Is anyone interested?"
it is all about relationships and connections and yeah. The good thing Colorado has such a really vibrant entrepreneur ecosystem, not just like as a state, but also within, Denver, I'm trying to think Colorado Spring. I mean, there's just these wonderful pockets of the ecosystem and the connections. So you guys are in a good
A
state.
great spot, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I love the conversation.
Me too.
Meeting you and learning more about fabric. But before we leave and before, where can people get a hold of you,
Yes.
or connect or learn more about fabric, how to,
Mhm.
support, buy,
Mhm.
whatever you need to
Mhm.
tell them.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn every day, Haylee Jordan, Haylee Jordan, and it's Haylee Jordan on Instagram if you want to get a hold of me directly. And then Fabric, you can find us at drinkfabric.com and at drinkfabric on the socials.
Love it. And
Yeah.
you're the one that's running it, so we can always,
Yeah, I'll be
support.
there.
So
It's me.
it's like, it's me. I feel your pain. I do. I love it. And we will tag and support you guys
Thank
throughout the
you.
journey. It's exciting to see how far you guys have come in just like you said, a year. A lot of times it takes
Mhm.
people several years to get
Oh
on
yeah.
shelves. So
Yeah.
kudos.
Thank you. Yes, we will. I'll make sure the boys are ready to go out for a nice
A nice
non-communal.
non-gathering
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love it. All right. Well, that's a wrap on today's chaos, but the journey doesn't stop here. If you found yourself nodding along or laughing or even yelling same like Chandler was during the conversation, make sure to subscribe, share, and leave us that 5-star review on Spotify. You can also dig deeper into founder resources and tools. More episodes over at orangewhip.com, and that's Orange UIP for work in progress. Until next time, stay curious, stay scrappy, and remember, we are all a work in progress.